5 times. Yeah, this is my town.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 425 Show, your place to be for all things real estate and lifestyle related here on the East Side. I'm your host, Nicole Mangina with Windermere Real Estate. We always start off with a real estate update. Today's real estate update is, as a buyer, know your costs, meaning there's a lot that goes into your costs when you're buying a home. One of the biggest discussions I have with clients is, do you pay a little bit more for a newer house, or do you buy something that is maybe a little bit older and then you put some money into it, you fix it up, and you kind of build equity that way, which is a great plan, and could still be the right decision, but costs have changed substantially. In fact, today I was talking with my contractor that I use for on our own house, and then I refer a lot of my clients to, and the costs have gone up so much, and the lead times. He just ordered a tub that is 5 months out. Oh my goodness. Usually you just go get a tub. Maybe you wait a week or two for delivery, but 5 months to get a tub, and a sheet of plywood that cost $15 a little while ago is now $100. $100 a sheet for plywood. That's amazing.
So to the tub comment, are you gonna have to shower in the backyard? Like everyone's gonna have to be hosed down?
Right?
Yeah,
Totally.
that's what I thought. Okay,
I
that's
think
what I thought.
so.
Yep. Kids are gonna love it. Kids are gonna love it.
It's gonna be epic. So yeah, all things to take into account when you're trying to decide, like I said, there's the cost part of it, and then there's the time part. But that cost savings that in theory you get with buying something that needs a little bit more work, and then you kind of bring it up to value, has gone up substantially. So just make sure when you're doing your math, you're using current prices, because that's going to make a big difference in how everything plays out. So there you go, your real estate update for the day. If you have real estate questions, I always invite you to reach out. You can find me via email, nicole@nicolemangina.com. There you go. And without further ado, super excited for our guests today. We have Tanner and Samantha with Duffy Boats joining us. How are you this morning?
Great.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a perfect day to have you on it. First of all, it's sunny, which it's a great day to be out on the water. And then you guys are located downtown Kirkland, and I walked by the marina this morning and there were your boats. I'm like, this is it. That's so cool.
Yes, it's quite when those glorious mornings when the lake is just absolutely perfectly calm. It's
Yes.
pretty serene and pretty beautiful.
I know. I feel so lucky to live here in Kirkland. It's like a little beach town, but we get to call it home, and that's awesome. So tell us about Duffy Boats.
Yeah, we are thrilled to be a concessionaire of the city down in Marina Park.
Right.
We technically our fleet of Duffys arrived mid-late May last year, but our 1-year anniversary will likely be more officially known as 4th of July weekend coming up. So we've it's been an opportunity in the making for a number of years, but it's really been a learning experience and a blessing to cut our teeth, I should say, in sort of the last 12 months, which was not part of the business plan in terms of the pandemic. So it's really been fun, and it's required creativity, but the electric boats are very approachable for really every Kirkland resident and every visitor of downtown Kirkland.
I love it. And so, so let's talk about the boats, because they're the perfect size. I was going by there today. I am a boat, I would say novice, but whatever is like less than novice, that would be me. I really know nothing about boats or how to do them. But the way you guys have it set up, I think even I might be able to figure this out. They're a good size, they're electric, so they only go so fast, and they're really built more for kind of cruising around, right?
Yes, more wine and cheese and cocktails and cruising around looking at the sights. We call it like a floating living room on water. So it's
Oh, I love it.
cozy. Yeah, and there's no engine, so there's no loud noise.
So as important as electric vehicles are now, and as they will continue to be in all of our lives in the next 50, 100 years, Duffy boats have been around for literally over 50 years, literally the past 50 years.
Oh my
So
goodness.
you have a boat that's manufactured and all American built down in the high desert of California. There are 16 golf cart batteries in each boat.
Oh wow.
And so each boat we think fits. Most of our boats fit about 8 to 10 adults comfortably. Our luxury boat, our Bay Island boat, does fit 12, maybe 13.
Okay.
But because you're only going about between 4 to 7 knots, or 4 to 6 miles an hour, by the state law of Washington, you're not required to have a boater's license. So.
perfect.
The boats are, I don't want to make it too simple to say it's a golf cart on the water, but it's certainly manageable if you have a driver's license and you go through some of our safety and instruction before you go out. They're great for hugging the shoreline or taking a picnic, as Samantha suggested. They're great for families. We've really seen the gamut from weddings to nearly a dozen wedding proposals to an 80th birthday party to a couple sweet 16s to even a memorial. So there's just lots of things you can do on a Duffy boat by listening to music and cruise along and just enjoying Lake Washington and even sometimes South Lake Union.
That's amazing.
They are fully enclosed, so we can go out in the rain, and zip everything up, and it's cozy and comfortable.
Yeah. I do love that they're enclosed. Like you said, for the rain, but even this is such a sacrilegious thing to say because we don't get the sun very often, but to be out on the water, like with the sun beating on you, sometimes it's a little much, right? So it's actually nice, I think, to have shade on the water, even when it's a really sunny day.
Yes, the Surrey top certainly gives you that sunscreen that you need. All the windows do go up and down, so fresh air, or if you need to be a little warmer, like we did in our holiday light cruises in December. People were surprised that they could say cozy and have a little cup of hot cocoa and still be okay.
I love it. And I just think this is such a fun thing to do, to be out on one of these boats, kind of cruising around. It's like we're regathering, right? As you know, we start to feel comfortable connecting with people. And what a lovely way to do that.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, sort of unplanned, the announcement that we all saw on Leap Day last year in Kirkland,
Right.
and obviously we are where we are today. We've taken a lot of measures to really focus on cleanliness, sanitation, and disinfecting the boats. I know that's really important in the world we're living in. But as we followed the governor's rules in the county and the city, we really have seen, even in the middle of last summer, families wanting to still get outside, get away from the Zoom or get away from the Netflix. And now here we are going into this summer where as people are more vaccinated and they feel comfortable getting fresh air and being outside and listening to the CDC's new guidelines. Coming together again. We're starting to see now some of the corporate offices and some of the corporate teams wanting to kind of get back together and doing that on a Duffy boat, having some fun, listening to some tunes, on a Friday afternoon. So we're excited to have people, get back, together beyond just their close knit, family network.
I love it. If you're just tuning in today, we have Tanner and Samantha joining us, the owners of Duffy Boats, and they are based in downtown Kirkland at Marina Park. And these are the coolest electric boats. So you don't even need to have a boater's license. You can totally rent one of these and go out and tool around. And it's just a great way to reconnect. And there's something cool. If you've never seen Kirkland or really any of the area from the water versus land, it's such a neat experience to get out there, and you get to kind of scope out some of the really fancy houses and see downtown and all the docks and everything from a different perspective. It's pretty cool.
It really is beautiful on the water.
Lake Washington, I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, really every day presents some new experience, and whether it's with you're with girlfriends, or you're with a spouse, or you're with
Mhm.
your children or your grandchildren, or a reunion of sorority friends, things you can go see and do in Lake Washington and into the different coves, or even into Montlake Cut and into East Lake Union. There's just always something magical about being out on a beautiful day in the lake.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite route? If you took a boat out, do you have a favorite way you like to go when you're on the boats?
Samantha, I think there's 2 or 3 different great routes. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that there's, you
Yeah,
get
I like
south
to go to
into
the coast.
Cozy Cove, and I think getting down to Bellevue, but it's also really quite fun to, as you all know, the history of the Montlake Cut, and
Yeah.
going and seeing the transition between lake life into sort of city life is kind of a cool thing to do in a very short period of time on the water.
It is amazing. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, when you go through the cut and then into Lake Union, and there's usually so much hustle and bustle in that lake. It's pretty cool to see it all.
It is. It is. One
Yeah.
of the fun routes we've done is a partnership with Kenmore Air, where we've had a number of customers that will go out on the Duffy. They might have something special planned. Maybe they're popping the question, or maybe they're celebrating an anniversary. And if someone of their party surprised them, here comes a seaplane that lands on the lake, has pulled up to the boat. They jump in the seaplane, they do a 30-minute tour, this Eagle's Eye
Oh, yeah.
tour, and then they land back on the lake and get back in the boat. Very James Bond, very Jason Bourne. But we've had some really great partnerships with some great businesses on the east side, and that's just one of the other experiences where you can kind of do something you didn't think you could do, all while still being on the boat.
That's pretty cool. I love that idea. Very James Bond. I know. I'm picturing myself in like really fancy sunglasses right now and some like cool background music. That sounds great. And you also have a partnership, I believe, with Rainy Day Picnics as well.
We do.
We do.
Yeah. So like they'll bring the picnic to you kind of thing, and at the boat, and it sounds like a really cool experience.
Another
Really special. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to pick and choose what packages you want, and then they come and set everything up. And it's the way that they accessorize the boats, and it's beautiful. It's really cool.
Christine and her team at Rainy Day Picnics have a wonderful story of how they started and where they've been able to create these fun excursions. We were very lucky that they thought that they would want to try one on a boat, and so we've now, I think, we have a Father's Day collaboration happening.
Sure.
We'll do it again on July 3rd, which will probably be our 4th and our 5th opportunity to work with them. They just do an incredible job, and they've essentially transformed the cabins of our Duffy boats into these Instagrammable, perfect, from chandeliers to rugs to table settings, and
Oh my gosh.
the food and the mimosas, and they're just, we're just been very blessed to be partnered with them.
That's amazing. So many fun things that you can do with these boats. I'm like, ooh, I want to plan a party now, right? Like, who could I invite, and how could we do this? And I think it's so great because as people want to gather and entertain, some people are comfortable having people over to their house, some people aren't. But the restaurant scene, for some people it's like, great, let's just dive right back in. But for others are a little bit more timid about how are we going to reintegrate into this whole thing. And I just think this is so perfect because you get your own little contained bubble. You're out on the water, you're with the people you know and care about and feel comfortable with. And you get to have this really amazing experience kind of at whatever pace you want to do it.
Yes, time certainly, if you've got great tunes, great playlist, and
Yes.
maybe a little something to snack on, maybe a little beverage. In an ironic way, time slows down, but it also goes pretty quickly. 2 or 3 or 4 hours on a boat that's only moving 4 or 5 miles an hour. So
Right.
it's that fellowship thing. It's getting back and having a conversation and feeling safe, but also having that laugh and that memory. And as you know, there's that blue theory I think we learned of being on the water just creates this calmness about you. So
It does.
it's been just running a Duffy boat with you or your spouse, your family, you'll have a great time. But then if you're wanting to dress things up and do, kind of go the extra 9 yards, we have lots of ideas. have been conceived in the last year that have just turned out beautifully. We've got a great partnership with Alexander Nicola Cellars at ANC Wines and other restaurants in downtown Kirkland and Balloon bouquet artists do things. We just
Tara Marie
Photography has been incredible. We just
work closely with her, and she can come out and take engagement photos. She's done weddings on the Duffys, and
Oh my goodness, this is so cool. Okay, so if people are listening right now, again, it's Duffy Boats. They are electric boats that you rent out of Marina Park, downtown Kirkland. If somebody wanted to rent one, how do they do that?
Well, they can go to our Instagram or our Facebook, which is at Duffy Boats NW for Northwest.
Okay.
They can see plenty of information there. There is a booking link online there.
Okay.
Our current website is continuing to be updated, and there's lots of fun things you're going to see here in the next month. Or they can give us a call. And many people like to call and ask questions, so they can call us directly at 425-588-1716.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like it would be worth calling you guys, because it sounds like you guys, versus doing the online, because you have so many amazing ideas of how to take this and just take it to the whole next level of fun and or make it easier. People, it's like, how do I outsource all this stuff and just show up and have a really cool experience?
Especially with the summer holidays and the wedding season and all the hopefully everyone's we're going back to where there's we have a hospitality background, so we really try to provide that special extra touch to make the experience great.
Awesome. Well, and you guys are great too. We were talking about it before the show. The whole reason I do the show is I love supporting local businesses and sharing about all the great things that are out there that make this such a fun place to live, so that as people listen, they go, oh, hey, here's something cool that they could do. Duffy Boats, absolutely. But you guys are super committed to the community as well. You hire a lot of local high school and college kids to work. So you're really committed to just staying connected with the community, which I think is pretty cool.
That's been one of the biggest blessings to us, is we've really gotten to meet some of these wonderful, it started off with some UW football players, and now we have these high school kids, and they're wonderful, and they become part of our family, and it's really been a joy to have these great kids working for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't think of a better summer job for a kid in school.
I tell you what, I want them all. We all want them to exceed, and they're all going on to college. And I almost don't want them to, because they're so great. It's like they don't want their parents to listen to this. I want them to, they're literally part of our family. But we've really been just simply lucky with some incredible team, and hint to any of those high school sophomore and juniors going into their senior year, those local community college and college students, we're looking for you going forward.
Oh, I love it. Okay, perfect. We'll be sure to put that in our Instagram stories. We'll get you some summer help for sure.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, and the Duffy Boats, you can rent can you do it all year round, or do you just have a season that they're available?
We are open year round.
Okay.
As Samantha mentioned, even if it's gray, even if it's a little drizzly, I think our biggest thing we protect our customers from is the wind. If it's unsafe and unpleasant, we're not going to go out. But we did have 25 days of holiday light cruises in December with hot cocoa and a local bakery doing our little Duffy Boat cookies and music, and so that was really a special thing. And even though it was a little bit cold, everyone was able to be warm with little heaters in the boat. And yes, we obviously there's certain times of the year that are a bit more, trade winds are a bit more prevalent. But the intention is, if it's safe and we're still duffing around the lake.
I love it. That's great. Speaking of the lake and the winds you're talking about, the lake's a little calmer in the morning, right?
Yes. Now,
usually.
I am not a meteorologist. I do have about 6 different apps on my phone, and there is a hourly check of those apps. And I think 50% they're always right, and 50% they might be a little wrong. So the mornings are typically pretty majestic, pretty calm. Later afternoons, sunset cruises, as obviously the summer here, we're approaching the longest day of the year at the end of June. That's one of the blessings of also being in the Northwest, is we can, those who want to do a 8 to 10 p.m. cruise, they can. So the wind can just kind of magically appear at any time.
There you go. Well, that's true. That is one of the things I love about living in the Northwest, though. Like you were saying, the longer, I feel like this time of year, we get 2 days in one. It's pretty tough in the winter, but by the time you get to this time, it's almost, you get your work day and then you get another good 5 or 6 hours of daylight after that you can get out and go out on one of these boats and just have a really great time.
Well said. Yeah, 2 days in one, absolutely. So as we get into summertime, we have a lot of folks who will be returning from last summer's experience, and they know their special time they like to go out. And there's lots of folks who like to do that brunch time, and lots of folks looking for that more dinner sunset. They bring their own picnic and their own bottle of wine, and they get on the lake and enjoy the end of their day by cruising around.
Yeah, I think that's our favorite time to go out on the lake, is the sunset time, and just it's just beautiful. It's relaxed.
It's pretty magical.
It is magical. Yeah.
So I have a quick question. As far as going out at this time, how easy is it to maneuver these?
Good question.
Very good question. Generally speaking, we will provide you a safety instruction before getting on the boat, even if many people have never even been on the lake before. Many people have never driven a boat before. The boat has a throttle that basically goes forward and backwards. And so the idea that you're going to have the same rules of the road on the lake that you would maybe, on the road is where your instincts are applied, but fairly approachable, fairly easy to do. We do ask everyone to be 21 years of age and older, with a valid driver's license, but I don't want to make it sound like it's very approachable. It's not as complicated as maybe having your captain's license, with a larger vessel with more of a powerful engine. So it's again, electric, almost a golf cart in the water kind of experience.
And if someone is really not comfortable driving the boat, we can always provide a captain for.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we have a number of folks who like to have a Duffy pilot cruise them around, so they don't have to worry about any of that. So we offer that as well.
And then our dock hands are really great at getting the boats out and then bringing them back in, which is
perfect.
probably the most challenging. Once you get out on the water, the boats are, if you can drive a golf cart, you can drive one of these boats.
I love it. Well, and it sounds like they kind of move at a speed that you got a little forgiveness there, that you got some time to maneuver and react. And
yes, and
that's why
I'm sorry, the boats are so well made that they can turn, they can.
Yeah, you're not going to get whiplash.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any whiplash. So,
that's awesome. Well, and that's why I was asking about the lake and stuff. I'm thinking like the brunch cruise, if you're super novice or maybe a little newer to the whole boat lake thing, earlier in the day might be good. Lake's a little calmer, and then there's just fewer boats out usually. So,
yes.
Less traffic to maneuver around and deal with. Might be a good intro session, and then you can come back and do the sunset cruise some other
I
time.
gotta tell you, the Northwest is the second largest boating community in the whole country. There's a lot of boats, and you very rarely see, even if you saw all the boats that were dry docked on the lake at one time, it'd be a different lake. It's not, you definitely have your room out there, even on a busy Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, that's awesome. It is amazing how many boats are in the marina, though, when you go down there. It's pretty crazy.
Yes, yes. Boats, people, that's what's made this great, is those who maybe don't have a place to moor their boat or have yet to find a way to, this allows the community, the visitors of downtown Kirkland, to see the city from the water, get down to Curelon Point, get up to Juanita Bay, and just get a whole different perspective. And that's really what the city wanted to do was provide something that was approachable, eco-friendly. There's no noise, there's zero emissions, there's no smell. So again, it's sort of serving multiple purposes.
That's great. And that's really what people want, I think, for the most part, when they're out on the water. They just want that experience. They don't need to go 100 miles an hour. And, you know, some of us, well, I don't know if we're too old to water ski. There's lots of people that water ski at all different ages, but to take it up at this point, it's a little, you're sore the next day. So to just go out and cruise around and enjoy your day, have a little cocktail and a nice snack, I think it doesn't get any better than that.
And they're great for children too. We get asked a lot.
Oh yeah.
Questions about children being allowed on the boats. Our kids have been on Duffy since they were really little, and they're safe. We provide life vests, and they're great for young families.
That's awesome.
We can give little activity books and crayons too.
Oh, see?
Yep.
Perfect. I love it. It's fun for everybody.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've had Tanner and Samantha, the owners of Duffy Boats, located at the Marina Park, downtown Kirkland. On the show with us, you can rent them by the hour, 2 to 4 hour increments, right?
Yeah, 2, 3, or 4 hours, 2 hour
Perfect.
minimum, 4 hour maximum. And, you know, really, people always ask, how many hours should I go? Well, it's really kind of a divide between 2, 3, and 4 hours. And just depends on frankly where you would like to go explore with the Duffy. So
Yeah.
that's just sort of the algorithm. If you want to get up to Champlain Point or Kenmore or over to South Lake Union, it's just take you a little longer. So it's a 3 or 4 hour round trip.
I say go 4 hours. You'll be glad you did, because 2
Yes.
hours you're going to get out there, just start having fun and think, oh, now I got to go back. So just
We
take the
agree.
longer time. You'll be super happy you did.
We agree.
Well, we will have links to everything on our website after the show, so you can book your boat adventure too. NicoleMangina.com/podcast. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Take care and have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks,
Bye.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Good. All clear, kid.